Red Bull GRC is now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible, and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online.
On January 1st of this year, we made a major announcement when we added Porsche as our newest partner. The first car we added to the sim was the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup, and at the same time we announced that we would be adding several more Porsches in the future. For the next Porsche, we wanted something special, something unique, something that hasn't been seen in a racing sim before, and something definitively Porsche. Today, that Porsche is here. So here we are in northern New Hampshire, where we found the perfect diesel Porsche. It's a model P133, and we're super excited to be able to scan it today. That should take us about 8 hours or so. After that, we'll do photo reference and sound recording. Then we're back to the office to build this sucker. When we're done with this project, we'll have the most authentic tractor ever built. Take that, farming simulator. It'll take some time and a lot of company resources, but we can definitely say this Porsche will be ready to launch sometime in the future.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Finally, welcome race fans. It's been a long commercial break there at the start of the show like you guys just went through. Got to thank you for hanging through it if you did. We are at the ISM Raceway here in Avondale, Arizona. I almost called it Phoenix International Raceway, which I guess you still can't. Technically, that's what the sim still calls it, as you can see on the bottom of your screen. The text does just go off of that box a little bit. Don't mind that. I'll fix that next time. But Brendan, we are here for the NMNTS Spec Championship Series, the first night race since Daytona. And yeah, going through 2.5-mile-day races that were pretty good racing. What are you expecting here tonight at the mile here in the desert?
I don't know. It's the first race that we're at a track here. I kind of could say is the most technical we've seen so far. Phoenix is kind of in a breed of its own. It's not really a 100% an oval with the dog leg there. So, and your turns 3 and 4 it's just such a long corner. You can easily screw it up. So it's the first one here with relatively flat banking as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how everybody drives it, but it should be a fun race.
Yeah, and as we're looking through some different drivers putting down their qualifying times, we're just going to scroll through what I've got here. Again, Brennan, like you just said, it is a very flat track, and we're going to see that come into play tonight. When these guys send it off into turns 3 and 4, they're going to have issues holding on the bottom line. I ran their Thursday farm race with these guys and did 150 laps here in these trucks, and believe me, it's difficult to just send it into turns 3 and 4 and keep it on the bottom side. It's even difficult to keep it on the bottom side in turns 1 and 2. So when these guys go up full bore, actually battling for points, battling for positions that matter in the championship, it's going to be fun to watch these guys pretty much just send it off into turns 3 and 4 and see what they can get. I will say I expect some slide jobs from guys like Bradley Wilson and even maybe Michael Redding, Tyler Justice, some of the more aggressive drivers that have a wrap on this place. I think Bradley definitely falls within that group. Tyler Justice, Jared Beasley as well. So it'll be a lot of fun to watch these guys go at it for 150 laps, I believe, right? Yeah, 60, 60, 30 will be the stages. So we'll have the end of stage 1 at the end of lap 60. The end of stage 2, will come at the end of lap 120, and then we'll have an all-out sprint to the end. And as we watch some more qualifying times get put down, I believe Jared Mogard is actually currently our pole sitter, which has been interesting. He missed Daytona, I believe, due to the duels, and he's had some issues getting into the show ever since. I believe he has no charter then. If he missed a race, he clearly doesn't have a charter. Zachary Kreiser in second, Tyler Justice third, Joe Pachette currently in fourth in qualifying, and PJ Popham in fifth. So aside from Tyler Justice and maybe Zachary Kreiser, this is a pretty different top 5 than we're used to seeing here, Brendan.
Yeah, definitely as I kind of iterated on a little bit, it's really a lot different of a track than we've seen so far. Just some Daytona and some mile and a halfers so far. Phoenix comes out to right at a mile, and it's a lot more technical than the mile and a halfers, I think, when it comes to your throttle and brake inputs and all that. So definitely an opportunity for some other people to show what they got.
Yeah, and as we look further through the field, looks like we will have 3 drivers cut from the show tonight. 27, sorry, come in locked in. So from then, there's 5 positions they can fill. There are 8 Gorgo homers, I do believe, that came up to race, and that means 3 of them will be cut. It looks like Ronald White may be one of them. I'm not sure on who the other would be. We'll have to go to this page here, possibly. I don't know if Jason Alexander has a charter or not, but guys around here, I think, is where we'll be looking for guys to be cut. Oh, and actually, Brendan, I will say, it's 21st to 30th where I'm looking right now. We might even have to look north of that for guys to be cut. I believe Race Control should be notifying us anytime on exactly who will be going home.
Yeah, we still have about 4.5 minutes left on the allotted qualifying time here, so everybody just a couple chances, but I think majority of the people already have their time set. Nobody's left quite yet, though, so.
Yeah, I'm looking around. It looks like Mike Bruno is going back onto the track, maybe just getting practice in. Not totally certain. But yeah, it's kind of just the waiting game here through the end of qualifying to see exactly who will be going home and exactly who will be kept in the field. Looks like guys like Jared Mogard and Joe Burchett up in the front, who I believe don't have charters, should be perfectly safe. I believe we even saw Kelsey Rogers up north of the top 10, and yeah, he's in 7th place right now, so it looks like he will be in the show. I know he is one of the go-or-go homers. But then you get to guys like Trevor Harmon, maybe even Craig Lerman, who I don't think has a charter, John Kennedy as well, Aiden Young, Cody Spiker, guys like them who I think will be the subject of the cuts tonight, unfortunately. Very fast trucks, Aiden Young actually within the top 20, looking at the possibility of going home. Well, as we get ready to get going, we're just, again, waiting on the call from Race Control on exactly who is going home and who will be staying. Brendan, we've got 150 laps, 60 laps to each of the first 2 stages. How important do you think tire conservation is going to be tonight?
I haven't really played around with Phoenix too much since the new update with the trucks, but definitely beforehand, it definitely was a key factor there. Obviously, the fresher the tires, the more capable you are keeping it stuck there down on the bottom, especially through 3 and 4. So, quicker or better tires are definitely going to lead to some quicker lap times towards the end. So I think it's just don't push yourself too far, put yourself in a good spot, and just kind of ride around and then go back at it at the end. Try and pick up whatever spots you can before the stage breaks.
Yeah, I mean, the stage points are just increasingly important as crunch time will be coming up in the summer. We're only a couple of months away. It seems like it's way too early to be talking about the hunt here in the NMNTS Spec Championship Series, but it's not even that early, really, when you think about it. These next few races are going to go by really, really quickly. We have Auto Club next week, then Martinsville, and some other short tracks, and those races are going to be super crucial to stay up in the front for. Brandon, I'm not sure on, the pavement short track experience you have. Obviously, you've done a lot of racing on dirt, but I myself went into Martinsville twice last year with these guys, and we didn't have stages yet. So the only objective was to just be in the top 10 at the end. Well, now these guys have to work with being in the top 10 all race long, or at least near it, at least close enough where they can strike if something happens. Preferably, you want to be in that top 10 to get the stage points. This is where you have to start picking up your midseason stride, because if you don't start now, this is, in my book, technically a short track. You're going to have a lot of issues through the rest of the spring where we hit a bunch of short tracks like Myrtle Beach, Gateway, Martinsville, and more. If you don't get into your midseason stride now on mile and a halves and short tracks alike, you're going to have a lot of issues.
Yeah, definitely. If you're not a short track guy either, it's time now to get whatever you can out of your mile and a halfers and Daytona and the bigger tracks, and going into that way you have a little bit of a buffer zone. So yeah, you just pick up whatever you can right away.
And we do have official word now from Race Control, as we watched Mike Bruno put down a few more laps. We do have official word from Race Control on exactly who will be going home. That's going to be Ronald White in the number 99, Jason Alexander in the 5, and Christopher Matthews in the 92, which means Jared Mogard will be our pole sitter. I'll do a quick stroll through TeamSpeak to see if he is on, and he is. We'll see if he unmutes his mic when we bring him in. Brendan, I'll give you the go-ahead whenever you want to. You can bring him on in.
Ready? Back up here, sorry. Hey, Jared's printing up here in the side booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Alrighty, bud. Well, I think it's pretty much secured now. Actually, you just hit the 10-minute mark there, so you will be the pole sitter tonight. Not really a familiar face. We see too far up ahead. Unfortunately, got cut a couple times, I think, going into this. So, really good to see you sitting on the pole. How's that feel for you, though?
Yeah, finally a track where you gotta drive it a little bit, not just hold it to the floor in qualifying. That helps. So, just thrilled to make the first show, and even better to be sitting on the pole. So, try and stay up front and see what happens. Maybe we win the first one in our first attempt here.
Yeah, definitely. So, walk us through a lap kind of here for, somebody that doesn't really know Phoenix too well. What's it like for you out there?
In practice we were pretty good there. Tyler hit that one in practice, and I couldn't get it. I actually had slower in practice, but I don't know, qualifying I just back the corners up a little bit and roll through it and try to get back on the gas as quick as I could without killing the wall off the corner, and it worked. So just biggest thing is back to corners up here and let it roll through the center and get it to roll through the center just right and get back in the gas and really have a good lap and be aggressive in the dog leg as well. Some time up there. So.
Definitely. Well, any plans going out there tonight? Just try and pull as much of a lead as you can right away, or try and save the tires as long as you can until they catch up to you, or you have any plans for the stage breaks?
Yeah, stages are 60-60, so pretty much just go for it. I don't know. I'm just going to go try and lead all 150 laps and grab the win. So it'd be pretty cool to do that and kind of go Kevin Harvick on them and just take it to him, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. Well, give you an opportunity here. You have any sponsors, anything of the sort you'd like to shout out before we cut you loose?
Yeah, I just got to thank Top End Racing Graphics and Twitchy Race Reports and you guys for the broadcast and everybody on this series. It's a great series, so hopefully we can start to make some shows here and jump up the points a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's been great to hear you tonight, and hopefully we can possibly see you in Victory Lane.
Alrighty, sounds good. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yep. Thank you.
And again, that was Jared Mogard. Best of luck to him tonight as he starts this 150 lapper from the ISM Raceway from first position tonight in the NMNTS Spec Championship Series. Again, we'll run through the drivers that will be cut tonight. Those will be guys like... Sorry, let's get down to them. It was this page. Christopher Matthews in the 92. Jason Alexander in the 5. They qualified 21st and 26th initially, but they do not hold charters in this series, as well as Ronald White, who initially qualified 32nd, but does not hold a charter. So those will be the drivers going home. Brendan, as we roll over to the grid, can you run us through the top 10?
Alrighty, our top 10. We just spoke with him, Jared Mogard with the pole. To his outside is going to be Zachary Kreischer tonight. Third will be Tyler Justice to start out row 2, followed by Joe Pritchett to his outside. PJ Popham is going to be in 5th. Jared Beasley in 6th. That'll be row number 3. Row 4 is going to be Kelsey Rogers in 7th, with Mike Bruno to his outside in 8th. Row number 5 will be Michael Redding to the inside, and Spence Thompson to his outside in 10th.
And in row number 6, we'll have David Levine to the inside of Jackson Allen. That's 11th and 12th. 13th and 14th will give us Trevor Harmon and Craig Lerman. Then we'll have Zach Winger in 15th, Clayton Kurtz 16th, Cody Spiker 18th, Cody Spiker 17th, John Kennedy in 18th, and finally in row 10, we'll have Aiden Young and Sawyer Ott, a couple of Jaeger Racing teammates.
Alrighty, in 21st will be Blake Falone. 22nd will be Bradley Wilson. 23rd will be Terry Mason. 24th to Ryan Daniels. 25th to Matthew Wilzenbach. 26th to Corey Walters. 27th to Joseph Andujar. 28th to Derek Robinson. 29th will be Blaine Fulone. 30th will be Jared Wishon. And 31st will be Jason Burgess. And then Gordon Larson. And 32nd.
And that will be your 32 truck field here at ISM Raceway. Again, these guys are getting ready on the grid. You can see them all lined up behind the pace car. They'll only have one chance to line this field up initially from the start, which means these guys have to work pretty quickly to, get lined up. That's 32 trucks that have to work together and get lined up within about 3/4 of a mile. So it's going to be tough for these guys to get in two 16 truck lines pretty evenly.
Yeah, definitely. That's the tough thing with iRacing when you cut drivers like that is it can't really automatically update the field for you, so everyone's got to have an understanding of who went home and just be able to work it out.
That is for sure, but I think these guys have it down pretty much pat at this point. You can see these guys pulling off of the pit lane now down the back straightaway through the dog leg. Again, not very much time for these guys to get lined up, so we could see a bit of start of the race woes for some of these drivers further back. I'd imagine at least in the top 10, these guys should be pretty clean and green to start the race, but we could see some issues further back. We'll just wait for these guys to come around turns 3 and 4. Jared Mogart on pole. Zachary Kreiser picking up where he left off at Las Vegas, qualifying in the 2nd position. Tyler Justice right behind in 3rd. Joe Burchett in 4th. Brendan, they're coming to you for the start of the race.
Alrighty, waiting for the pace car to dive in. We have to wait for the green flag. And it's out, and we're underway. Good start for both first and second there. Yeah, get everything sorted out here. Nobody opting for the dogleg quite yet. Oh, here they come down.
Tyler Justice right on Jared Mogart's bumper through turns 3 and 4. PJ Popham now following in a 3rd place. Joe Burchett gets down into 4th. And Zachary Kreiser actually falls all the way down to 5th place by the end of lap 1. And he will try and gain some ground now on Joe Burchett. You see a couple of damaged front ends, damaged noses further back through the field, but it looks like everyone
27 was some big contact there. He got hit in the back. Some connection issues for somebody right around him as well.
Trevor Harmon with a couple of issues. He's out of Fort Mojave, Arizona, a local somewhat to this racetrack. See some issues for Zachary Lindgren just behind him, actually. These guys have been having some connection issues with the server tonight. iRacing, it seems, has had some issues since their latest, updates to the service, and you can see some of that affecting these drivers. I think everybody, for the most part, had an issue in practice and qualifying, getting knocked out of the race, receive throughput, if you're familiar with the service. So most of these guys have had issues already tonight. Hopefully they can all hang on. It could also affect us. If it does, we'll try and get back running as soon as we can. But at least for now, everything's clean and green. A few little bits of contact between certain drivers, and I think we're good from there.
Yeah, interesting to see, though. We didn't really have issues last night. Some issues Saturday, unfortunately, for the team. That's kind of not really related, though, but interesting that the problems are arising again now that the full patch has been released for the new season.
Yeah, and if you don't know what Brendan is referencing there, on Saturday, the iRacing held a 12 hours of Sebring race. Initially, there were going to be two races, two different time slots based on the Greenwich time zone. Well, we got the first one in, and we actually had a team in that first race. We ran pretty decent all race, won it, but when we disconnected from the show after the race was already over, we found out that we couldn't access our results. What we found out happened was that basically iRacing decided to cancel the second time slot of the Sebring 12 hour, and that affected the results for everybody. So that is a testament to the connection issues we're seeing already with this new update that was rolled out last week. Hopefully, that's with air quotes, this gets figured out within a couple of weeks, because we're heading into the brand new season now, season 2 of 2018. Hopefully they get it sorted out, because that could be very detrimental to everybody across the board, including the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series, for example.
Yeah, definitely. sucks to see out of a service like, you know, especially something subscription based like this, to have issues like this. But I would assume they're going to be right on top of getting this stuff sorted out.
And we're looking further back through the field. Cody Spiker currently in the last position. Not sure what happened to him, but he has fallen a lap down to 32nd. Blaine Falone is in 31st. Back towards the front, Jackson Allen in a battle with Mike Bruno. Kelsey Rogers just ahead. And it looks like these guys are just getting single file and having a race.
Yeah, kind of be expected. Everybody just kind of settling in, starting to really run the race here now that we're a few laps in, almost coming to lap 9 now. Everybody just settling in, getting to see who they can test. David Levine right now with a battle with the 39 car. Zachary Chrysler, actually the lapped car. Or no, excuse me, not. That was Cody Spiker, excuse me.
Now Craig Lerman going to try and take advantage of the move that David put on the 39, of Zachary Chrysler. Craig Lerman to the bottom side in turns 3 and 4. He's going to bring Clayton Kurtz with him into this battle. Behind Clayton Kurtz will be Michael Redding. So a lot of drivers on top of each other. Clean and green, though, through 10 laps so far tonight of 150. This means they're about a sixth of the way through the first stage. And this is where tire wear will start to set in on these drivers. They're going to start to have issues with these trucks not handling how they want them to. Most likely a little bit tight. Could also be a little bit loose out of the corners. I think we saw a couple of drivers get a smidge loose coming out of turn 4 a couple of times if they weren't careful with the apron. But you can see a lot of these guys opting to stay higher up on the racetrack, not really flirting with the apron too much.
Yeah, I think everyone here is still kind of, you know, working on the field. Phoenix, I don't know how quite iRacing does the setup, but we are running the Phoenix baseline setup for iRacing, so I don't know if it's quite set up for the warm weather or the cool, or if it's a mix of both, so it may not be optimal for this type of racing at night.
Well, I believe the iRacing fixed setup is actually meant for the daytime, but these are iRacing defaults, I believe. We'll even bring up the weather tab. That's a good segue into this. The temperatures are 78 degrees, humidity 55%, forecast clear. Those are iRacing defaults, so it's interesting to me that these guys are having any kinds of issues. The only thing I can imagine is that the iRacing fixed setup is meant for the daytime rather than the nighttime, and that could be affecting the track temp. Well, it is affecting the track temp, and that could be affecting the grip levels in these trucks tonight.
John Kennedy, Clayton Kurtz, and Craig Lerman to go a battle at it here. John Kennedy kind of fell back a little bit. Almost to the grips of Michael Redding there.
And you can see a lot of these trucks having issues, or actually could be me. Are you having issues?
Not right now.
So yeah, this could be me. We'll go for a wider shot just so you can kind of get the idea. We're having those issues that I mentioned just a little bit ago. I'll try and get it worked out as soon as I can, if I can. But yeah, my connection is now starting to go a little bit odd. I just checked on that real quick. Hopefully it subsides. Again, we are having a few issues that I can't really control right now. iRacing, it seems, is deciding to target me now with some issues with the skew bar. So we'll try and get it fixed as soon as we can.
Right ahead of John Kennedy and Bradley Wilson going side by side. Michael Redding's going to put himself in it. We got a battle right ahead of them as well. Craig Lerman, Clayton Kurtz, Zachary Chrysler, and David Levine. Zachary almost washing up there into David. Lerman going to take the way deep line in the dog leg, try and make a move on Chrysler here. Has the inside. Going to get pinched. A little bit of contact between the two of them. Keep going though. John Kennedy now with the move to the outside for Lerman.
Brendan, I'm going to have to leave you to call this for just a moment. I'll still be here, but I'm trying to work something out so I can change cameras.
Cool.
Yeah, I hate to throw you into the situation, but I'm going to try and get this sorted out as quickly as I can.
Alrighty. The Craig Lerman and John Kennedy battled side by side at the moment. Both go to the dog leg. Everything's still good. Michael Redding's starting to throw his nose in the mix here. Bill side by side. This has got to be hurting Craig Lerman, getting forced stuck on the bottom. Michael Redding now to the outside of Craig Lerman. Almost going to make it stick. Lerman going to drive in deep underneath. Michael cleared. To move to the inside. Lerman's going to pinch him down there. We have Clayton Kurtz going on battle with Zachary Chrysler now. John Kennedy's almost with him there as he takes the dog leg. We to the inside of Clayton Kurtz now. Move. Clayton going to go way deep into the dog leg here to try and work on Zachary. Not quite there. John Kennedy. Zachary Kreischer actually really big time loose there, almost into the 59 of David Levine. John Kennedy right behind him. Everybody's heads up here. No incidents there. Everybody keep going.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to get this worked out. We're going to take a commercial break while these guys are green flag, just to try and give this a chance to hopefully fix itself. I'm going to basically back out and come back in. Again, crossing our fingers right now. If something goes wrong, it will be posted out on our Facebook page. Just check out our Facebook page for any details in case this stream goes down. We'll try and get any info that we can out to everybody as quickly as we can. So again, just sit tight. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, try and get this worked out, and we'll be right back here at Pit Stop TV.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order in all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made a transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Raceway of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMary at the line.
Red Bull GRCs are now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible, and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online.
Welcome back,
Limited
race fans, to the ISM Raceway, not Phoenix International anymore. ISM Raceway, we're finally back after some connection issues with iRacing. Hopefully those don't show themselves again. Hopefully we can just continue on. Jared Mogard is still your leader. Tyler Justice in second. Whoa, and a big moment there for Mogard to miss the slowing 818. I believe some of these guys are deciding to come down the pit lane a bit early. A bit of an interesting move to me, but hey, they're the ones in the driver's seats, not us. So, Brendan, while I've been dealing with that issue, what have you seen out there on the track?
Really not too much. Everybody's just getting settled in, really. No real huge gains, huge losses. Bradley Wilson, I guess, to be the biggest one to mention out here. Started 2030s, worked his way up to 11th so far. Other than that, though, everybody's really just getting settled in.
Yeah, these guys have stayed clean and green. I've been listening to Brendan kind of give me updates from time to time as I was loading back into the server. Again, just had some iRacing issues, but it's getting worked out now. It looks like we're stable enough, at least for the time being, that we should be issue-free at least through the first stage. If we do have issues again, I'll, talk with the powers that be that kind of control what we do. Oh, and actually, caution hell, so we'll talk about this later.
The 52 Ryan Daniels.
And the 27 has damage, the 52 has a ton of damage. The Gale Toyota Tundra not doing so well. So we will, of course, get a replay on what happened here. Again, it was Ryan Daniels, at the very least, that was involved. He was racing with Matthew Elzenbach. I'm not sure for what position this was for, and Ryan just kind of washed up into the 29, and then Trevor just, I don't know, what exactly went on there, but he just didn't check up in time for Ryan Daniels, who was slow ahead of him, and they just made a little bit of contact at a turn 4, and around they went.
A lot of people opting to take a trip down pit lane.
Yeah, you can see this line of trucks coming down the pit lane, led by Jared Mogard. He'll have the last pit stall as he was the pole sitter. Brendan, do you think these guys will try anything coming to the end of a stage, or do you think they're all just going to get 4?
I think we'll probably see 4 tires here and some fuel and try and work through towards the next stage maybe here. Not really too much longer left into it. By the time we get back under green here, I'd say there'll be about 13 to go left in the stage, so maybe a little bit of 2 tires then, I guess, just to see if you can snag some stage points real quick, but also maybe an opportunity if you take 4 to set yourself up for the next stage as well. Take a risk.
Sorry, I didn't mean to, I thought you were done. That's my bad, though. Remember how last night, you actually may not have been tuned in with your personal issues last night. We'll leave it at that. Unfortunately, you were a little bit under the weather, but Michael Redding decided to stay out at the one break that those guys had in the Super Series race last night at ISM for tires. And I immediately thought that was a bit of an odd move, but maybe a bad move in my personal opinion. But Michael Redding has done it once again. He stayed out. He does this a lot. He really trusts his tires. He really trusts himself to keep those tires in shape. So we'll see how it works out for him on this restart. But he has chosen to stay out at least for a lap. We'll see if he comes in here, but I think he's already missed his window to come in and get service to that truck. So I think he's made his bed and he's got to lie in it now.
Yeah, he's I guess out of the NMNTS league, he's kind of the tire man. He really makes it work. But all I can put it at, good opportunity here for him to get up there, see if he can stick with him. I think, about 40 laps in on those tires, I think it's going to be probably a real detriment to him here, a little bit more than, Sunday night's action here. So I don't know if well he'll hold on. The 59 to David Levine electing to come down pit lane this time, though.
And that definitely could have been a reactionary move, maybe. Saw that at least Michael Redding was staying out, decided maybe something might go wrong. Now, I'm not saying anything will. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to discount Michael Redding in any way, shape, or form, but it may have been a reactionary move to just, say, you know what, I want to make sure we get to the race, or at the end of the race, even if nothing happens here. He might have found it was a better idea for him to come in, or he may have missed a couple of tires on his pit stop. He may have any number of things might have happened there. He might have sped in the pit lane. So it could have been any number of things to lead him back into the pit lane. But he, like you said, Brendan, does come back down the pit lane, gets service to that truck once more. And now Michael Redding leading these guys through turns 3 and 4 to come to the first restart of the night. We're only going to have 12 laps until the stage break at the conclusion of lap number 60. Jared Mogard, the first truck with fresh tires, and Michael Redding waits and waits. He's off and away, bringing his teammate Tyler Justice with him on the bottom side. Jared Beasley as well.
Good jump for them. Mogard with a couple of connection issues. It looks like it's got squared away. Michael's going to slide way up high here. We're going to go just about 3 wide there. That's the tires, you know, playing their role. Everybody's storming past him now.
And we'll go on board with the driver out of Batesville, Arkansas, having some issues here, trying to get up to speed.
Well, the 51 and the 89 almost made contact there, trying to get around him.
51 and 89, of course, teammates of Bradley Wilson and Spence Thompson. Spence Thompson, one of only 2 past champions in the series. Kelsey Rogers gets loose right in front of him, actually, in turn 2. Now we're going to go 3 wide down the apron. They're going to get sorted out back to 2 wide into turn 3. But Kelsey Rogers with a big bobble out of turn 2 could have been big.
Michael Redding still dropping like a rock through the rest of the field. Not a smart choice, I'd have to say, at this point in time. And he's really starting to feel it.
Yeah, he has just fallen all the way back now to 15th. And, you know, he's only going to lose more spots at this rate with the 10 laps that we still have to the stage break. So I'm not sure if that was the right move for the number 2. But, of course, again, just like we mentioned earlier, they're in the driver's seat. We're not. It's up to them. And
into the wall.
We have to trust their choices. But, yeah, he gets to the wall on turns 3 and 4.
And 3 wide now, PJ Poppin, Zachary Kreischer. 18 going to squeeze through now. Oh, some connections issues for him. Actually showed the 4 and the 18 side of each other. Still some connection issues for the 18 for me.
Yeah, there are some issues presenting themselves on that number 18 of Cody Spiker. It looks like he's actually not even listed on the speedway anymore. So big issues for Cody Spiker in his first start in the NMNTS SimSpec Championship Series as the developmental driver for WFL Motorsports tonight. And he'll be sharing the number 61 with Kelsey Rogers later on in the season, possibly some more rides in the 18, and more issues for him as he's blinking all over the track. Hopefully, he gets
the
figured
4
out
big time loose towards the inside wall, gets it back around. Another car diving, hits the wall hard. It's Corey Walters, I believe.
That it is the Haviland, Texaco Haviland number 28, Corey Walters with big issues. We'll take another look at this.
I think he just tried to come down for the dogleg in the 13 and didn't want to.
And we saw some of those issues last night in the Super Series race here, most notably with Alan Westman and Kenneth Yance, and then even with Clayton Kurtz and Michael Redding, where drivers, you know, on the outside wanted to go down to the inside to take the apron through the dogleg, and drivers on the inside didn't. They wanted to stay up on the track. You see that issue there. Yeah, just a big, actually really big hit for Corey Walters to the inside wall. Jackson Allen narrowly escapes that. That could have been a lot worse for the number 4.
Definitely. I think that'll get us fairly close to the stage break here. Just seeing through the iRacing chat that the race official is disconnected. Maybe some connection issues for him here. So an interesting night we're having so far.
Yeah, definitely an interesting night, but they do have 2 of those race officials, those being Kenneth Yance and John Barron, so I think they'll get it sorted out nonetheless. And hopefully we have a restart here to the stage break. I'd imagine that we would, considering we're probably going to have about 2 or 3 laps to go. But we'll see exactly what they decide to do. If you pick up on anything, please let me know so that we can get the stage winner in here if we get the chance. Although if this is the stage break, Tyler Justice will be your stage number 1 winner. He got by Jared Mogard on that restart with the help of Michael Redding ahead of him, and Jared Beasley behind him, just, you know, working his teammates on that restart to get a pretty good launch. And they took or at least Tyler Justice took the lead away from Jared Mogard in turn 1.
Nothing coming through from race control or anything like that. I may have already missed the transmission over all the drivers here, but I would assume since everyone's staying out, we are going to have another restart before we go to the stage break.
Well, then I think we'll assume that we're still going to run this the stage out. So it should be a pretty good show for the fans. You will see some of these trucks go white, so we'll actually just go to one of the blimp cams And that's just me trying to reload the paint scheme since I came back in. Having a couple issues, for example, Jerry Rashawn's didn't load right, so we're going to get that sorted out as quickly as we can. But Brandon, this has been a decent race so far. I mean, green flag for over 40 laps, and then we just had a couple of cautions there. But what kind of, I guess, what kind of atmosphere does this set for the rest of the event? We still have 2 stages left.
Yes, so far, so good with it. Everybody, you know, after the double file restarts, just kind of gets settled into about a single line, a decent little train. It's pretty tight battling still, though. Everybody's still within a quarter, half second of each other, I'd say, within the separate groups. So overall, it's a lot of action. It's kind of hard to pass here once the tires start to go and everybody gets tightened up. So your opportunities to make a moves are towards the fresher side of the tires, which means pretty much right away off the restarts there, as we saw with like Tyler Justice and the whole MR crew there, that we're starting to work the way past Jared Mogard there.
And as we look on back from the interior, actually, of the pace car, leading this field around, we're getting ready for the restart. Tyler Justice is your leader. Looks like we'll be restarting coming to the stage break. We'll have 3 laps to go. And Jared Beasley will be restarting on the inside. You'll have the best shot probably at Jared Mogard to go for second place. Joe Burchett on the top side in 4th. And Mike Bruno in 5th. So more Evil Outlaw Motorsports drivers on the bottom line. Probably going to communicate here on this restart and get their restart in order. And they're coming to turn 4. We'll wait on Tyler Justice. And he's off and away. Green flag back in the air. Jared Beasley actually had an issue. Didn't quite get up to speed with Tyler Justice's teammate. Tyler going to go to the top side and then dive back down to the yellow line. Hold on to that top spot. Jared Mogard takes home second place so far. But still 2.5 laps to go. That's 2.5 miles as well.
Battle right behind him, Mike Bruno and Jared Beasley going at it. Bradley Wilson throwing his nose in there as well as Spence Thompson. If they can have anything for the MR guys.
Jared Beasley looking underneath the 83. Can't get it done into turn 1. He'll have to try
The
again.
59 loose. Big time loose. Got it saved.
David Levine with issues out of turn 2. Hangs on to the truck. Clayton Kurtz, Aiden Young, Zach Lindgren battling for the last few stage points here at the end of stage 1. Craig Lehrman also in that battle. Aiden Young just made the pass for 10th so far on Zach Lindgren, so Zach Lindgren falls out of the top 10. If the stage ends here just like this, which it will in just under a mile, Zach Lindgren won't get any stage points in stage number 1. Tyler Justice, though, looking to bring home the first stage win of the night. Here comes Jared Mogard to the bottom side. He's going to throw a slider. Tyler Justice can't pull the crossover. Jared Mogard has the advantage, and he's going to race him to the line. Jared Mogard wins stage 1.
Zach Lundgren by nose beats Aiden Young for 10th place there.
Yeah, the 85 listed in 10th place, so great drive by him. I thought he was going to end up having to end that stage behind Aiden Young. He ended up making the pass. We didn't catch it on camera, unfortunately. But good job by him to get back into 10th place and at least get 1 stage point. And Brendan, while I key up our stage winner, can you give us the top 10?
Righty, our top 10 for stage number 1 will be Jared Mogard, followed by Tyler Justice in 2nd, Joe Pritchett 3rd, 4th going to Jared Beasley, and 5th is going to be Mike Bruno, 6th goes to Bradley Wilson, 7th is Spence Thompson, 8th is going to be Kelsey Rogers, and 9th we have Craig Lerman, and rounding out the top 10, as I mentioned, just by a nose, is going to be Zach Lindgren in the 85.
And a great job by everybody there to get their positions at the end of the stage. I did actually just have an issue with something here. I'll try and reload the overlay. That was an interesting problem. All Alrighty, so while I work on this, Brennan, can you bring up our stage number 1 winner, Jared Mogard? Actually, wait until he gets through the pit stop. That would be a good idea. So while I work on this, apologies again. Brennan, he is in the interview waiting booth. All on you.
Just wait for him to get finished up here. Let him catch back up with the pace car. And we'll bring him up here. Ready. Hey, Jared, it's Brendan up here at PSI booth again. You got a copy?
Yeah, we got you, buddy.
Well, we talked with you with the poll interview, and stage 1's complete, and you're still there, edging out Tyler Justice with a great move there for the last lap. How's that truck feeling for you?
This thing just gets better and better as the run goes on for me there. I thought Tyler had us when we got, we had the disadvantage on the restart. I thought he had us, but we just kind of sent it in turn 3 there, and hopefully it stuck, and it did, and got the win.
It definitely. So, tire wear not really an issue for you, as you kind of mentioned a little bit. It's getting better and better for you late run.
Yeah, I was a little surprised at the right front when we had that first yellow on 48 or whatever it was, but at that point in time we were pulling away from Tyler, so I'm gonna assume we're doing good. And to me, it felt better. It didn't feel like it got any worse or anything. It felt like it got better, so we'll keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, definitely. Any I don't know, any hints out there? Excuse me, back that one up. Anything stage 2 you want to change going into stage 2? Anything you'd like to change for holding that first position there? Or are you just gonna keep running out and try and get as much of a lead as you can there?
We're not one to go here, so no, we're just gonna keep doing what we're doing. Maybe switch 3 up a little bit. I think I get through there a little bit better, but otherwise we're gonna keep it the same.
Alrighty, well, we'll get you moved back down here. Get ready to go green again.
Have our thinking.
And that was our stage number 1 winner, although he will not be restarting from the first position. That will be Zachary Kreiser, now stealing the top spot. Joseph Andujar III actually to his outside. Good to see him getting into the front now. As these guys come through turns 3 and 4, it's all on you for the restart.
Alrighty. Pace car ducks in, waiting on Zachary's move. Away he goes. Blake Fallon with a good start with him as well. Andujar kind of fell asleep a little bit there, as well as actually Jason Burgess, Bradley Wilson, Jared Mogard going to go 3 wide out of turn 2 there. Oh, that was a risky move there, especially with the dogleg coming up here. And they're going to get everything sorted out there still. Back to 2 wide now. Bradley Wilson, Jared Mogard. These guys both took tires, I think. Bradley maybe only took 2. He got out of the pits quicker than Jared did, but Jared so far edging him out on the restart.
Tyler Justice starting to gain on the inside on the 51, but Bradley Wilson going to lock that bottom side down using the dogleg apron. Entering the bottom, or entering turn 3 and 4 on the bottom side, right on that just single yellow line, sorry. I'm thinking Daytona all of a sudden. Joe Burchett using all of that apron. He went way down the track, almost to the inside wall in turns 3 and 4. Gets it back up to the track. I think that was just a move to try and get some grip. I don't think that was anything other than a move trying to complete a pass or something or other. Tyler Justice still looking to the inside of Bradley Wilson. Can't find any daylight. Blake Fallon in second place. Jared Mogard to third. These guys are battling for 4th. Bradley Wilson, Tyler Justice.
Yeah, I think we'll see the guys just a little bit older tires here start to get edged out by the guys like Jared Mogard, Tyler Justice, Bradley Wilson. They all have on fresher tires here just by about 10 laps or so. So not really a huge difference between them, but obviously the quick guys that took the fresh tires are going to be even faster than the guys who are on a little bit older tires here. So see them will start to work their way around. Mogard making a move on Blake Fallon now.
Jared Mogard finds some ground, doesn't clear him just yet, but finds the position. Caution falls on the speedway. Looks like that's going to be David Levine. Goes around in turns 3 and 4. I have to imagine he had some help. He's got some left side damage. We'll see exactly what happens here.
The one of PJ Pop in there washed off a little bit of the 61 of Kelsey Rogers. Tagging the 59.
Well, we haven't quite seen it yet on the replay. Now into turns 3 and 4. Craig Lerman actually got into the 16, and then, yeah, Kelsey got into Popham a little bit. Popham got into the 59, and around went the 59 truck of David Levine. Not too much damage to the Toyota, though. As I believe he'll probably bring that truck through the pit lane now, get a chance to get some fresh tires on that number 59 and get back out there. Zachary Kreiser, your leader. Jared Mogard in second. Blake Falone in third. Brennan, we haven't really gotten a chance to talk to Zachary Kreiser too much. What do you say we bring him in for an interview?
Let's do it.
I'll find the number 39. There he is. Get Zach Kreiser into the waiting booth. Give him a chance to settle in. Need to install a sofa or something in there. Zachary Kreiser, this is Andy Cardinelli in the PSI TV booth. Do you have a copy?
10-4.
Well, Zach, you're doing pretty good so far. Picking up where you left off at Las Vegas. How's that number 39 at .pet.com Chevrolet feeling?
She's doing well. I mean, it's definitely been an interesting race so far. Truck's a little tight, but you know, I feel like it's all about track position here. So I'm gonna try to keep the Hope for Paul's Chevrolet, Jaeger Racing Chevrolet up here for as long as I can, and see if I can bring home the victory tonight.
Well, you know, I actually expected a few more trucks to come down the pit lane. They're, you know, obviously right after a stage break. How do you feel with these older tires, though, knowing that you only get about maybe 15, 20 laps out of real good tires, and they start to fall away? How you feeling with the guys behind you?
You know, overall, I mean, it's dicey out there after the tires fall off. It gets a little loose, and that back stretch there with the dog leg gets a little hairy there with everyone going 3 or 4 wide. But you know, just got to keep it clean, and again, hopefully we'll be there at the end.
Sounds good. Well, I know you've got some fans out in the chat, so just wanted to bring you in since you are our race leader, and I believe you finished, what, second place last week to Mark Broderick. So following that great run-up with another great run out in the West Coast, best of luck to you so far tonight. Do you have anyone to shout out before we let you get back on this restart?
No, just everybody in Jaeger Racing. Hope for Paul's. Appreciate it, guys.
Sounds good. We'll get you back down there with your Jaeger Racing teammates. Best of luck on this restart.
Thank you, 10-4.
Again, that was Zach Kreiser. I thought that was a pretty good interview. You know, pretty confident in the truck, it sounds like. Admits that it's pretty dicey, especially on these restarts. Do you think he can hang on to this lead, though, Brennan?
I don't know. He's just sitting on there. The older tires, I think it'll only be a matter of time before people like Jared Mogard and Tyler Justice start to work their way around him. He has a little bit of rear end damage too. I just now noticed that. I think that's going to affect him too much though here.
Well, we will see how he does here on this restart. Again, he's in control of the restart in every way, shape, and form, just like he was on that previous restart. So we'll see how he does here. The number 39 coming through turns 3 and 4, getting ready to go. Again, it's on him once the pace car dives into the pit lane. He can go anytime. Going to wait a little bit longer. Gets to the straightaway. On the loud pedal, pulls away. Blake Falone gets to the inside of Jared Mogard. Tyler Justice falls back just a little bit. That's going to allow Bradley Wilson to get back to the bottom side in 4th place. Joe Burchett to the top side of the 51, battling for 4th.
Like Falone with the tire, we're definitely a little bit hurting him on the entry there. A little bit loose. He's going to push up a little bit high. It's risky for Joe Burchett up there. Able to keep everything going though. Getting loose a little bit on entry for Blake there. Bradley Wilson, Tyler Justice going to go side by side right behind him. Mike Bruno not too far behind as well.
Yeah, Mike Bruno starting to enter this fight for a pretty decent position for really the first time all night that we've seen. He hasn't really been in the front too much. We've seen Tyler Justice mix it up, caution out in the back.
Be the 75 and the 43, Terry Mason and Craig Lerman. Actually went well after the caution there. They were still wrecking.
And that's unfortunately going to take out Kelsey Rogers. I think David Levine had to slow down a bunch as well. Matthew Welsenbach with a ton of damage to his number 29. That must have been a pretty big one. We'll get the replay in just a moment.
I was up ahead. The 23 of Jason Burgess caused the 75 and the 43 to end up wrecking.
Watching the 23 into turn 3, he got in a little hot, had to avoid Andujar. I don't think that was the caution, though.
The 23 definitely got sent around.
Oh! He actually came up a little bit on Spence Thompson, spun down the front straightaway, and something happened with Kelsey Rogers, David Levine, and Matthew Welsenbach. A couple of really big hits down this front straightaway.
Big incident. Yeah, now that I caught a little bit more in turn 1 there, I was focusing on the 75 and the 43. You had a bunch of trucks end up big time damage there out of that one.
We'll go back and get another look at this as far as exactly what happens with some of these drivers like Kelsey Rogers and David Levine. They were far behind this incident. The 43 and the 75, I believe, were just trying to miss the wreck and made contact. And yeah, Kelsey Rogers was just trying to miss the wreck and just got loose on the brakes. David Levine did the same thing. No damage to David's truck. Matthew Welsenbach with a big bit of damage to his number 29, though. We'll get slow-mo on down the front straightaway this time when we get to see these guys. This is just a massive incident.
Back on the lead lap now. Interesting. Mike Bruno is elected to stay out. Both his teammates, Tyler Justice and Jared Beasley, elected to go in and get fresh tires. Interesting strategy play for him.
And you know who we were just talking about being in the back and spun out just a little while ago?
Ryan Daniels, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, Ryan Daniels.
I just noticed that
in
myself.
the 7th position, just ahead of Michael Redding. Pretty good comeback for him so far. We saw him spun out, again, just a little while ago, and now on lap 80, back into the thick of things. As we get ready for the restart already, Jared Mogard in first place. Joe Perchette going to restart in second. Blake Falone in fourth. Blake Falone in third. Man, I jumped a position ahead. Mike Bruno will be in fourth. Aiden Young fifth. John Kennedy in sixth. Again, Michael Redding will follow up Ryan Daniels. Those guys are 7th and 8th. And I believe we'll have Tyler Justice and Trevor Harmon making up row number 5 on this restart, 9th and 10th respectively.
I think those were the first guys to grab tires here, so everybody ahead of them has stayed out since the last pit stop.
Well, we'll go ahead and do a crank it up here on this restart, so our mics will go silent and the volume will go up. Crank it up. we're going to cut this crate, get up short. Bradley Wilson, I believe, and maybe PJ Popham with some damage. Yeah, Bradley Wilson in it. PJ Popham as well. A ton of damage on those trucks in the back. We'll get a look at what happens. I just switched. Bradley Wilson was preparing to show his truck on the camera when this wreck happened. So we'll get a replay up for everybody here. And again, big incident here for Bradley Wilson. I'm really not even sure what happened. We'll get another look at this. Watch the 51. Sorry, it keeps switching from Bradley. RTVO is being picky, but watch the 51, a little further back in traffic, battling with a few trucks. Ryan Daniels and Trevor Harmon here into turn 1. He's going to slide up, gets loose, and then collects guys like Jared Beasley, Zach Kreiser, Clayton Kurtz, and more. Spence Thompson behind, gets checked up. But big contact for some of these guys a little further back. A big wreck in the back.
He's now in the pits, now had a tow. Was the leader at one point in time in the race, and now he's going to go several laps down. Clayton Kurtz looks like also lost his motor.
We'll get one more look at this. This is centered on PJ Popham in the number 1. As this event's going to happen into turn 1. Nothing for Ryan Daniels to do. 51 just got loose ahead of him, and then you can see chaos ensue behind. And yeah, Zach Kreiser, Clayton Kurtz, those guys were having a pretty decent run until this previous caution where they decided to come in, get tires. And then you see, of course, you know, Bradley Wilson was one of the favorites coming into tonight. He ends up with a completely junked race truck. PJ Popham as well. Really unfortunate to see this wreck come out like this. Well, while we have time under this caution, we'll go ahead and try and talk to another driver out in the field tonight. I'll quickly scroll through our options. Let's go ahead and get Mike Bruno, currently in 3rd place in the interview booth. Talk to him real quick. Mike Bruno, this is Andrew Cardinale in the Pit Stop TV booth. Do you have a copy?
10-4, bud. I got you.
Well, Mike, good to see that number 19 in the top 3. You're pretty quiet there in stage number 1. How you feeling with that number 19 in stage number 2?
Feeling pretty good. Stayed out that last time on a little older tires than a few guys in the field here, but should be all right. Just try and stay up front here and finish the stage off, and then go in for a pit and see how we can do in the end there.
Yeah, I think the name of the game right now is stay in the front as much as you can. I mean, we just had a previous leader just a caution or two ago, Zach Kreiser, come in, get tires, and he was just in that wreck that we saw in turns 1 and 2. Are you kind of that same thinking here as we get ready to restart, just stay in the front?
Yeah, for sure, man. It's the name of the game. I just don't want to get caught up in anything in the back, so at the very least, try and stay up front, even if I'm on older tires.
Sounds good. Well, real quick, before we restart, do you have anyone to shout out in number 19?
Yeah, I want to thank my sponsor, Silvaga, Ken Younce, John Barron, my team, MR Motorsports, and you guys. Thanks a lot.
Sounds good. We'll give you a chance to restart now. Move back down there with your teammates. Have a good race.
Thanks, bud.
That was Mike Bruno in the 3rd position as these guys get ready to restart. Brennan, it's only going to get better from here. These guys are racing really hard, obviously, and making moves that we wouldn't maybe normally see, but these guys are, you know, it's time to go pretty much for stage points. We've got to get on it. Coming to the restart, Jared Mogard in control. Gets on the loud pedal off and away. That number 3 in the lead by almost a mile, not quite.
Been doing a good job with the restart so far. He's timing his jumps really well, getting a good lead for him to start there. Like Bruno to the inside now to fight for 2nd place. With the 83 of Joe Purchett.
They're going to drag race out of turn 4. Mike Bruno actually with a blink there out of turn 4. He's going to fall back to Aiden Young now. That'll be a battle for 3rd. Tyler Justice trying to find ground on John Kennedy. That would be for 5th. Further back, David Levine, after that wreck, still in this thing. He's in the 11th position, just got by Joseph Andujar, but hasn't totally cleared him quite yet. Going to clear him, I think, through 3 and 4 here as he rolls the top side in that Vegas strong Toyota. Further back, Jared Wishon finally making his appearance on the camera tonight. Did really good last week at Las Vegas. Trying to back that up with a decent run here tonight, currently in 13th. Jackson Allen behind him. And now, actually, Wishon going to go for a big move underneath Andujar through the dog leg. Further back, what are you seeing?
One battling with the 49 of Sawyer Ott here. That's going to be for 21st and 22nd position.
Yeah, PJ Popham trying to work by that double E barbecue truck of Sawyer Ott. Sawyer Ott with a bunch of damage all over that Chevrolet Silverado. Popham easily going to get by the 49. Now we're going to try and catch up to Terry Mason to try and get by him. We saw Terry with some damage a few cautions ago, trying to miss a big wreck down the front straightaway. Derek Robinson also back here has a clean truck, actually, just doesn't quite have a whole lot of speed in that number 818. Bradley Wilson actually is still on the speedway, albeit with a ton of front-end damage to that number 51. You have to wonder his thoughts about what we just saw a handful of laps ago on that caution. Back up towards the front, though, David Levine just got by Zach Lindgren.
Yeah, David's definitely recuperated here, and we have another caution.
This one going to involve Joseph Andujar, Craig Lerman, and more. You see Jason Burgess sneak by. That number 13, unfortunately, with a ton of damage. Captain Mack and Millennium Aviation on the hood. Merge NYC, also a big supporter of that team. We'll go ahead and get a replay on what took place here for this caution. He was just in front of Jason Burgess, actually, so you have to wonder if that plays into it. And it definitely does. Jason Burgess actually gets into the left rear. Then Trevor Harmon has nowhere to go. Then Ryan Daniels has nowhere to go, and it's just a melee from there. Oh, and Craig Lerman got him. I can tell you Joseph Andujar definitely not going to be happy about that one.
Definitely not. Don't quite know what Craig Lerman was quite doing there. He definitely thought he was slowed down well enough to get through the incident, and I guess maybe the 23 was coming back up, so he decided to dive on the inside there, but was not paying attention to the 13 that was also stopped there. He clipped him pretty much straight head on there.
We'll see him enter the speedway there. Yeah, just enters the, not speedway, sorry, but the wreck. And yeah, just ended up going right into the 13. I'm not sure how to call that one. Definitely will hurt that number 43, though, so it's not like he necessarily wanted to do that. That's for sure, considering all the damage he just picked up.
You wonder if maybe he just wasn't paying attention. More worried about the 23 that was still getting stopped there. He was coming through and just, like I said, wasn't paying attention for the 13.
Yeah, it's really tough to tell. I mean, it's hard to really get in the minds of these guys, and the best chance we have is with these interviews. So with that said, I say we should bring up another driver. This time it's going to be David Levine. We saw him with all that damage, so we may as well speak with him and then number 59 tonight. And so, Brennan, I'll let you move him up whenever you feel.
Ready. Well, Sebring race winner David Levine, you got a copy with us?
Hey, that's me. What's up, guys?
Hey, bud. Well, a bit of a tough break for you tonight. Seen you involved in a couple incidents and another spot earlier where you spun really loose there, able to recuperate though. Tell us what's been going on tonight for you.
kind of both of the incidents there have all been a result of driver number 1 truck either not knowing what a mirror spotter or brake pedal is. So that answers that, but I still think this 59 Vegas Strong Revin Optics Berkshire Hathaway Home Services truck is still pretty strong here. I think our goal is, or we're best on the short run over the long run, but I think going up here fighting for stage points is the name of the game, and I think we'll be all right.
Definitely, we see you scored all the way up to 6th now, back from that incident. So you're definitely making the right move forward. I already mentioned your sponsors here. I think we'll go ahead and get this one wrapped up. You guys getting ready to go back to your arena here.
TM4, thanks for checking in, boys.
Thank you.
Go get him, Levine. Again, that was David Levine in the number 59 truck. Vegas Strong on the hood. And yeah, some interesting comments. We'll just let those land as they shall. Definitely not the happiest about how the race has gone for him so far tonight, but he's got a pretty positive outlook, just trying to get